All right. Little recap. So, recap of the past 9 months of training, recap of the Ironman race. It's now done. Season 1 of the 78.3 training and event is complete. We're at the ends meet. I still can't believe that we're there. It just passed so quickly. I just can't believe it. It's kind of crazy. Ever since the beginning of this whole process, I was actually wondering if I would make it, questioning myself on and on and on until you kind of make it and make it happen. And that was really amazing. I'm so proud of I'm proud of my performances on the Ironman race. But I'm even more proud of the effort that I put in the past 9 months of training. Where it all started is, if we go back to 2020 when I registered for the Ironman. Just to give you guys the big picture, I went up in weight about 205 pounds with really no motivation to train at all, no motivation to do anything. I haven't had a specific goal for at least a year and a half. I must admit, as a trainer, that could be hard because I just wanted to be healthy and fit, and I was constantly telling the people that I coached that they kind of still needed to have a goal in mind, and felt a bit like the imposter syndrome, felt a bit like I was hypocrite about it. I've always loved doing triathlons since I've done my first one. Love the whole process of it, done only sprint triathlons, and it was really something that I knew that I could work towards, work on some weaknesses, have some fun on the bike, and just something that I enjoy. So, and like I said, I always wanted to do an Ironman, a complete one, but it's a long way ahead. So the 70.3 was obviously something that was more attainable with the time that I had, and also with what I was able to do and what I was able to process. So that went on, and so once that was locked in, once I registered for my first 70.3, training started in December. Slowly but surely, everything kind of got together. The first thing was to train for my first half marathon. When I started training, I haven't ran over 10K in my life. So obviously that was a big milestone that I had to go through. I had to train for the half marathon. Everything else, I've done it in the past. The distances of a 70.3, which are 1.9 kilometer swim and a 90 kilometer bike, wasn't something I was very worried about. I've done that in the past, and obviously you need to train that to become better at it, but I wasn't worried that I could not do it. As for the run, I'm not a runner, but was training to get it, to be one. So the first milestone was to really train for the half marathon, and since all the half marathons were kind of canceled because of COVID, well, I decided to organize a half marathon. You've seen it in the past videos of the YouTube channel. If you've seen it, that was kind of the first process. Done that. So from January to May, I was primarily training for that half marathon. Running was a big part of the whole plan. Everything turned around the running. So I would have my running plan, and everything else would kind of go around. So I was always able to run in my best ability. So be well recuperated and all that stuff. So. That was a hard part of the process, because at that point I didn't even know yet if I was able to do the half marathon, and Jade obviously knew that I was able to. She was really confident about it. She would constantly tell me that I was able to do it with the training that I've been putting out and sending the results I was getting from what she was giving to me. So when once the half marathon was complete, checked, I kind of was really happy. Obviously, I was very grateful of of what I've accomplished, and I now officially knew that I was able to do that. It was very hard to do it, but I knew that doing the half marathon was something that I could get. And from there, became a little moment where I was a little bit more down. I feel like I was kind of like post stress depressed after doing that. I wasn't able to get out the best running workouts. Was tired. Leading to that half marathon, a lot of training was involved, and I felt like I needed a little break. But so a couple of weeks went by, and training wasn't at its best, but was able to make the best of it. And from there, summer came along. We started to do the garage build, and time became a lot harder to manage. Also, I started doing a lot more personal training in Montreal, so I had to dedicate at least a day or two in the city where I wasn't home, and where the only thing I needed to worry about was being at certain places and certain times. So training was done very sneakily across those lines. So yeah, and then as you have seen, if you've seen the past videos, and then summer training went very well. The weather really helped to train, really helped to go on massive big bike rides without any issues. So that was something that was great. Started to realize that running in the heat was really hard for me, so started training that a little bit more, at least once a week. Once a week I would go outside and in the hottest time of the day and go perform a long slow distance run. So my long slow distance runs were made the hottest time of the day. Anyways, that was done, and as you've seen in other videos in the past, I've canceled my event in Santa Cruz, and last minute took a decision to go to Muskoka and do the Huntsville half Ironman there. So if we fast forward to yesterday, to the real event, to the 70.3 in Huntsville, I mean, it was a stressful day. It was a stressful weekend. A lot of things that I needed to do, but I feel that I was very ready. I could have been a little bit more rested, but heck, like, I made it happen. And my goal with the numbers that I was putting out was really to get a sub 6 hour half Ironman. And I was expecting to do a 3-hour bike, maybe a 2-hour run, and a 40-minute swim. So those were very pessimist times. And yesterday, as I was going through the event, a lot of different factors came into play. It started raining on the bike. It was super hot on the run. So things you can't control, but we're part of the picture. So if we go like from the beginning, the swim went really well. It was kind of a zigzag portion in the beginning, and then you would swim across the river. And I went really close to the buoys. I really held my left. I was seeing everybody on the right hand side, and it was kind of really following the buoys. I literally touched with my shoulder each buoy when I was turning around. So I really shortcutted the course. In the future, I think what I could have done better was be even more to the left at some points, because I sometimes was catching up to people, and that was slowing me down because they were really inconsistent in their swim. I wish I could have found somebody with the same speed where I could have just drafted behind him, but people were really inconsistent in the speed that they were taking. Sometimes they were going in front of me, and then I would just pass them right over again. So I had a hard time like finding my sweet spot on the swim, but got out of the water in 37 minutes. After calculations, I was at 120 of heart rate. So pretty mellow swim for me. Transition was pretty long. There was a long way of running to the bike. Got to the bike, got in my first 20K with perfect temperature, and then the rain started really light and became a storm. At that point, I thought they would probably cancel the event. It was like really bad, really bad. So on the way back with the storm from the loop that we were doing, the speed started to drop because the water was just slowing us so much down. There was probably this thick of water, And yeah, that was just slowing us down. I was getting a little bit worried in the downhills because you would go like 50, 60 kilometers an hour in a turn. So I watched the Collins Cup on the weekend, and I saw a couple people crash and on the Collins Cup doing a race in the rain. So I was thinking about that. Shouldn't have thought about that so much. But anyways, got that done. And from there, I started to see that I could take advantage of the bike. So the half portion of the 90K, like from 30 to 75 ish, I went really hard. I went harder than threshold. I knew that I could make some major time gains right there, and I knew that it would give me a buffer on the run if ever the run didn't go as well as I thought. So which I did, 250, which I was pretty happy. I think it could have got a little bit faster if I went the first portion of the 30K at that speed. I think I would have been able to maintain maybe a 245, 240 if I'm lucky. But anyways, got that done, got off the bike. Thought that my legs would lock on the run. That's what used to happen in sprint and Olympic triathlons. But it didn't. I actually felt pretty good. So I mean, like my last slow 20 kilometers on the way back from the bike kind of like helped me to pace down, and was able to run at a 5:30 pace. I planned to start at 6-minute pace, but I felt good at 5:30. And I should have held that, because once we were running, the temperature was like up to 40 degrees, so it was really hot, and there was a lot of hills. But since back home, I always trained with hills similar to the track that we were doing. I was pretty confident on what I needed to do and what the paces I needed to hold when I was going up a hill. So first loop went okay. Felt some minor stomach issues, probably with nutrition, not being used to doing that much biking before a run and that much running after a bike, and it goes both ways, right? So got that done. Second loop went really hard. That's when I realized I should have probably paced a little slower and maintained that instead of having some high spikes of speed. Because on those 5 last Ks, I was pretty slow. I was between 6:10 and 7-ish, alternating walking and running depending on the hills, but managed to get that last K in 5 something, and got my run in 2 hours 10 minutes. So early on in the year, when I was talking to one of my university teachers, he was asking me what I was expecting at like pace, and I said, I can do a half marathon in 1:48, and with all the training that I've done, I'm pretty sure I could get it sub 2 hours after on a 70.3. And he suggested me to maybe overpace it and go for like a 2-hour 15, just to not create too much expectations. So 2 hours 10 minutes is pretty spot on what he was telling me. But knowing what happened, knowing how I ran, knowing how my pace was, knowing this whole experience, this first experience, and with the track that we had, which was like a really, really challenging Ironman, it wasn't flat. I'm pretty sure I can improve everything, and now I officially know what I need to work on. So just getting back to the drawing board and planning out what I need to do in training for the next event, because as we finish this season 1 of 70.3 Ironman training, we'll start soon enough season 2. So season 2 is ready to start. Next Ironman, I'll be able to announce it in the next video, but I'll be signing up for more than one next year. So it'll be an interesting season coming up. As I finish this video, I just want to say thank you so much for following the whole year of YouTube videos. This is really what created the motivation that I had to train, and gave me the accountability of getting out something at the beginning maybe a little bit more consistently every week, and then on and on, showing you videos of like the lifestyle that I have and the training that I do, and giving you some feedback of what I've done. And I know I'm no professional athlete of triathlon. I'm your average Joe guy, but maybe you can relate to that and set yourself some goals and find yourself your own accountability about that. So it helped me get motivated. It helped me lose the weight that I needed to lose. I'm down to 175 right now, so like in 9 months lost over 25 pounds, 20 pounds. Today I'm a little bit dry because of the ironman, but I was 178 before competing. So it kind of gives you the whole big picture, and I hope you enjoyed the season. If you'd care to like this video, comment, share to your friends, subscribe to the channel, that would help a lot, help a good dude. And yeah, I'm excited for season 2. I'm excited to show you more content about training, maybe a little bit more dissect into what's coming up, be a little bit more, have a smarter approach to it now that we have a baseline and a benchmark in the picture. So really happy for that, and thank you so much for following along the journey. Thank you for watching this video. It's been a very long video, but obviously this is more something that I'm doing for myself, to retrospect and to go and look back in the future of what am I saying right now, what are you talking about. And that's exactly what I want to do, like kind of like go back to it and remember how I felt at this moment, and maybe in 2-3 years look back at it and see where it all started. I'm really hooked to this type of training. I'm really hooked to the Ironman event. Doing it, I was already thinking about the next one, and I have big plans in my head that I'm really excited to share, and that'll follow on with the next series of Ironman training. I can't wait to show you guys, and hopefully I'll be able to give you better videos, better quality, and whatever you'd like to see, let me know. I'm super interested in that, and it'll help me have this consistency of this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel really was born because of this goal. So it's kind of like two things at the same time that I'm trying to juggle: the media and coverage of everything, plus the training. Two things that I really enjoy creating, and having my artistic side and also having my physical training side. I really like to juggle both. It's not always hard. Sometimes I want to do more of one, and sometimes I want to do more of the other, and I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent with it. Anyways, this has been a long video. If you followed so long until this part, thank you so much, and I will wish you the best day ever. And don't forget, set yourself some goals and follow them until the end. It's really the consistency that matters. I wish you best of luck, and thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.